know if they just gonna start going up today.
Well, many healthcare workers are getting the COVID vaccine. Some have been refusing, saying they want more data first. This is despite reassurance from health leaders that the vaccines are safe. The federal government hasn't released numbers on how often the refusals are happening, but some examples we're seeing at one state-run veterans home in Illinois, 90% of residents have been vaccinated, but only 18% of staff members. At one hospital in rural Alabama, about 90 of some 200 workers there have yet to agree to be vaccinated. Now, one hospital system in Houston is giving workers an incentive to get the vaccine. Employees will receive a $500 bonus in March, but only if they get the shot.
If people are going to offer payment, I think they should be really clear about why they are doing so. And that might help.
The hospital system's president has done that, saying getting the shot is about fulfilling our obligation as healthcare workers to lead the community. Now, Cynthia Kreider studies consumer behavior and has looked at the issue of paying people to get the vaccine.
When you're being paid to do something, people assume that there's a reason why, and that might happen here. People might assume, in this case, that the vaccine is riskier than it is, or that the benefits don't go to the person getting the vaccine, but go to others. When of course they go to both in this case.
She said there are situations where people could feel better about having an extra incentive to get vaccinated, like in the case of getting a vaccine as a requirement to travel to certain places. She says in situations like this, the assumptions about why the benefit is in place are more in line with the benefits of the vaccine, like the ability to be around more people.
All right, Shalom. We the brothers of Great Millstone, the church here in Birmingham, Alabama. And as always, want to begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory
to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakodash.
Yeah, in the ancient Hebrew tongue, that would be the correct name of the Heavenly Father, His only begotten Son, and the Holy Spirit. I also would like to give double honors to our teachers, the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, you brothers out there laboring in His work. And as always, you believe as the Akim as well as the Aqua that subscribe to this truth as well. So yeah, this sitting right here is going to be entitled, "And Esau was a cunning hunter," and that's an excerpt from the book of Genesis, the 25th chapter, which goes into the characteristics of Jacob and Esau, you know. And I just want to throw this out there. You got a lot of Jakes out there, you know, and their perception of us is we just a bunch of disgruntled so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you know, who use the Bible as somewhat as a, you know, a way to vent, vicariously vent against the so-called white man, which the scriptures support us in that act, all right? But, you know, the mere fact that you got this man, you know, compromising this truth coming out, you know, the channel that we usually go on, and a lot of you are out there, you know, Mysteries of the Kingdom, the trilogy, that channel is usually the primary channel where we go live from, where they hit that with a strike last night, and they hit it because of the lesson concerning Esau going into captivity. And the reason why I want to bring that up is because if we just a bunch of guys talking shit, you know, and it's not worthy to, you know, entertain, then why Esau reacting, you know, through his YouTube guidelines? And his argument is we violating, you know, the guidelines of YouTube. All right. Well, there's an old saying down in these parts: a hit dog will bark, man. So, you know, if this was just void, empty words, why is this man reacting like that? You know? But what you're going to find out is that this is the truth, because Esau, and not just the average Joe Sixpack, but the elites, the chief house of Satan, the chief house of the nation of Edom, which comes in the form of these international bankers, guess what? They know that this is the truth, man. And that's why they're reacting as such. All right? But we have called them out. And when you go into the scriptures with understanding, you read the scriptures through the Spirit, you'll see that the scriptures give the qualities, if you will, the attributes of this devil. And one of his main attributes is that he's a cunning hunter, man. And that's what we're going to go into in the Spirit. Now, you saw in the opening clip where they offer incentives. You know, they're pretty much trying to snare you. They're trying to entrap you to come in, so that they might jam you up, they could jab you, man. Okay? But us coming into this truth, you know, through the mercy of Yahweh Shema Shah, the Lord has allowed us to see this man. The Lord has made this man naked. Matter of fact, let's start off that real quick before we get into this lesson. You know what I want, Jeremiah? You got something?
Yeah, Con. This is the book of St. John 3 and verse 20.
Mm-hmm.
For everyone that doeth evil hateth the light,
Yep.
neither cometh to the light, his deeds should be reproved.
Yeah, these will be reproved, man. So we're in a time where the so-called white man and his are being proved or being exposed. Give me that in Obadiah. Go ahead.
This is the book of Jeremiah 49 and 10.
Mm-hmm.
But I have made Esau bare.
What?
I have made Esau bare.
Yeah, the Lord have made Esau bare. By what this word? This word is a sword. We have cut this nigga out of his clothes, man. All right, you can see this nigga for who he is. All right, it was a time where this man, you know, he had the luxury of dealing behind the shroud of darkness and secrecy. For an example, no one knew that there was a secret cabal, there was a secret network that actually ruled the world. You thought it was the president. You thought the president of the United States was the most important man in the world. But what we found out through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah, that it's the elites, the elite bankers that actually rule the world. You know? And that goes back to Cain, man, the serpent, Esau. All right? And the chief house, Amalek. Okay? This is all biblical prophecy. It's not a coincidence that these guys ended up in power. These guys, the ones who set the policies, even down to the trends. The reason why you see this homosexual, overwhelming homosexual vibe, niggas in skinny leg jeans and blonde hair with a man purse, and there's a 40 cal in there. All right? It's because of Esau. That's the sword. That's that wicked vibration that's being put forth. It's all about Esau is the driving force behind it. See, give me what you got real quick.
Con, this is the book of Obadiah 1 and verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
It says, how art the things of Esau searched out?
Yep. Read that again.
It says, how are the things of Esau searched out?
Yeah. How are the things of Esau searched out? Well, it's a simple answer to that. Through this word. All right. This word is a light that was set up in effort to reveal the things that's done in the dark. Give me that real quick. You know what I want, Ephesians? Let's get that real quick. Read this one more time.
It says, how are the things of Esau searched out?
Mm-hmm.
How are his hidden things sought up?
Yep. So the Lord has found you out, man. We have found you out. You know? Matter of fact, real quick, what's that? He said, no one seeth us.
Talking about Isaiah 29.
29?
Yeah.
Give me Isaiah 29, I think it's 15. Yep. Give me that real quick. Go ahead, up.
Ephesians 5 and 11.
Mm-hmm.
It said, and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness.
Read this again.
And have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness.
Now, what do I mean by unfruitful? Because what this nigga produced is death. All right, when something is fruitful, that goes into life. That's why, you know, the scriptures tell you how the Lord told Jacob to be fruitful and multiply. To be fruitful, produce, it means life. So the unfruitful works of darkness, we are not to have fellowship with them. Meaning, mentally, we are not to acclimate ourselves to this place of America. Even more now, man. Right now, if you trust in this devil, man, I don't know what to tell you, man. The information is out there. It's been made perfectly. It's been made clear who your enemies are. All right? The scriptures tell you that there will be a time where the elect of Yahweh Shema Shah will no longer stay upon him that smote him. But he would stay and put his trust in Yahweh Shema Shah. Read this again, huh?
Ephesians 5 and 11. And have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness.
Yeah, so there's a line drawn in the sand, if you will. We are not to have any fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, which will be Esau. Go ahead.
But rather reprove them.
But what?
Rather reprove
That's
them.
where we come in at. We were set up by Yahweh Shema Shah to reprove this devil, man. Right? Go ahead.
It said, for it is a shame even to speak of those things which are done of them in secret.
The things that is done in secret. That's why we just read in Obadiah, the 6th verse, how the secret things that Esau searched out. Look, man, if you're doing wicked, if you off, you're going to be tiptoeing around. I walk in the room and your hand behind your back. Something ain't right, man. That's Esau. This nigga deal. Hey, first and foremost, why didn't you tell us you was the one ruling the world? Jacob Rothschild and the Gettys and the Oppenheimers, the DuPonts, and we calling you out, nigga. All right? Or it's other elites that you really don't even know about. That's even on a higher level than them niggas, man. Which is actually Cain. reincarnated and shit like that, man. Go ahead, Doc.
It said, but all things that
The
are
serpent,
yeah,
the actual serpent and shit. Go ahead, Doc. That's writing the policies like he did Eve.
Yep.
He played on Eve. The scriptures tell you how Eve, she was taking the lust of the how it went? Pleasing to the eyes. It was pleasing to the eyes, which Eve symbolizes Israel in that context. So when you fast forward to now, our people being drawn into this society, this trap, right? This snare, the pit. But what's the driving force? You're a snare by the things that seem pleasing to the eyes here. From the cars, you know, the clothes, the hoes, as them rap niggas say, you know, just the American dream. Here in America, if you know, as long as you got a dream, you're a nigga. As long as you have a dream to get $100,000 before the year, you know, get this whip, get a trap house, another trap house in this area. That's a dream that's the fuel behind you continuing to do wicked, man. That's that snare. Because that rat what's gonna make him keep moving toward that trap? The cheese. So you're drawn by your own lust. See? Go ahead, Up.
It says, but all things that are approved are manifest by the light.
Ooh, everything is proved is manifest by the light, proving that this word is somewhat of a light. It was set up an effort to shed light on the things done in secret, the things done in the dark, man. Okay? And that's the time we're in. We're in a time where light is being shed on everything. Years back, you didn't know that there was a secret network that was ruling the planet Earth. And they had an agenda. And that agenda was to, you know, take over the world and to rid out a certain nation of people. And the driving force was the birthright, the blessing. And this information could be found in the scriptures. You didn't know that, man. But now we're in a time where the floodgates is open, if you will. And this information is going forth, and it's overwhelming. Okay? So that was it on this?
Yeah, that was just last one part. It said, for whatsoever doth manifest is light.
Yeah, so whatsoever does manifest is light. Like, let's say if you got a kufi on, but you ain't telling us who the bankers are or what's the plot. That's not light, because light manifests things. That's why if you take a step back and check out these teachings as well as the teachings of all the brothers, the apostles and elders, it's always exposing something. Somewhere in there is exposing something. If it ain't just Esau per se, it's a breakdown. It's something that's hidden. You shed light on something. See, so that's what it means when it say, for whatever is light makes manifest. You're just telling us some shit that we already know or just talking. That's not light. All right? So what you got?
This is the book of Isaiah 29 and verse 15. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel.
Yeah, and who is that talking about? The so-called white man. And that counsel is played out in the form of these secret meetings. You know, like the Bilderberg meeting. Okay? Go ahead.
It says from the Lord.
Go ahead.
And their works are in the dark.
What?
And their works are in the dark.
And their works are in the dark, man. You know that picture that surfaced, I don't think it got out there, but I know behind the scenes within the brotherhood, the picture that surfaced with the elites, that dinner where they had the Jake, they had the guy.
Oh, yeah.
Like a damn turkey.
Oh, yeah.
That's a part of the works in the dark. Where they had the girl and they was shining the magnifying glass on and burning her up. You know? Those are the works that's done in the dark. What happened out here in the Bohemian Groves, these secret rituals, these blood sacrifices and so forth, man. See? Read that again, Doc.
It says, woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark.
Yep.
And they say, who seeth us?
See, and they say, who seeth us? Go ahead.
And who knoweth us?
And who knoweth us? And who knoweth us? Guess what? We know you. We found out who you are, man. You Esau. You the devil and Satan. And that's a criminal. A criminal running. He got down. Had an app where he could share his information, get your information off your phone or some shit. And he's using your credit card. He don't want you to know who he is. That's the mind of a criminal. He just robbed you. He's selling drugs. He don't want you to know who he is. That's Esau. He said, "Who knoweth us?" Read this again.
It says,
hey, because in order for you to bring up charges on him, you had to identify him. See? Go ahead, Doc.
It says, "Woe to them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark."
Yep, go ahead.
And they say, who seeth us,
Yep, see who seeth us, go ahead.
and who knoweth us.
And who knoweth us. Yep, the Lord, called all Yahweh Shema Shah. He gave us the jacket on you, man. We know who you is, man. You Esau. We found out who you is. You Esau Edom. Okay? You the devil and Satan. Which that word devil goes back into deceiver. And the word Satan, that word there in the Hebrew Shaitan goes back to adversary. Meaning you're the one who's contrary to everything Yahweh Shema Shah has laid out, man. All right?
And a quick precept.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2 Thessalonians 2 and verse 8. It says, and then shall that wicked be revealed.
See, there you go. And then shall that wicked be revealed. Go ahead.
Whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
Yep, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. And this devil is now being consumed. Again, that's why the other channel got hit. Because he's being consumed. Hey, again, we were just a bunch of disgruntled so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Why is the so-called white man reacting to us? Because he's that dog that got hit, and now he's barking, man. And you can't tell us what's going on. That's another thing. Nigga on the sideline telling us what's going on. No, we in the battlefield. We the ones getting the emails. I just got the email last night that the channel was struck. So you can't tell us that the so-called white man ain't squirming and fighting up against the will of Yahweh Shema Shah. This is a spiritual war, man. The scripture tells you that, and how we fight not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and high places. The scripture's bad. All them twists and it's still talking about them motherfuckers, but it's telling you it's a spiritual war. See? Because somebody read that and think it's talking about demons that you can't see. Now we don't know exactly where they at physically, but they out there somewhere, man. And they coming up against us. Right? Go ahead.
It says, let me read it again. It says, and then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
And that's the chronological order. Right? The Lord is going to consume them with his word, and ultimately he's going to destroy them with the brightness of his coming. All right? That was it on that?
A little bit more. It says, even him
that's it.
Whose coming is out the workings of Satan.
Right. So he's the counterpart of the spiritual being Satan. That's another thing. There is a spiritual being Satan. Just read the book of Job, the 2nd chapter. But he's in complete order. All right. He's considered one of the sons of the Most High. When you read Job, the 1st chapter, when it said a day where the sons of the Most High came in, to present themselves to Yahweh Shema Shah. And Satan came in there. How many of you niggas say you can go into that hearing, man? So Satan is under the authority of Yahweh Shema Shah. But he set up his spirit to show the perfection of Yahweh Shema Shah. His spirit is set up in wickedness. He's on the left-hand side, But he still got to check in to the Most High, because the Most High controls everything. But Esau is the physical counterpart to the spiritual being Satan here on the planet Earth, if you can receive it. See? Read that again.
It says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan.
His coming is after the working of Satan. Then he get down like Satan. He's a resistor. He's adverse. That's why, what was Satan's role when he came to Job? To be a resistor. To make things go contrary to what Job wanted. See? Go ahead.
It says,
he came to Yahweh Shah like that. In the wilderness, man. Just like he come to all of us, each and every one of us individually came into this truth. On a certain level, the Lord don't allow, he might want to come at you a certain way. The Lord said, nah, don't come at him that way. Because that'll break him, Go ahead,
It says, with all power and signs and lying wonders.
Yep, with all power and signs and lying wonders. That's Esau up and down. Everything about this nigga is a lying wonder. Case in point, even in entertainment, TV. Now you'll get so acclimated, inserted in this place, you will just dismiss it. Oh, it's just TV. I didn't have that argument. Like in my family and shit. And they said, no, what you tripping about? It's just TV. They just actors. No, they lying. They lying. You can try to spin it the way you want. That one I wasn't seasoned. Now I wouldn't even. But when you come into this thing, you fired up, you amped up. But again, everything about Esau is a lying wonder. From that aspect, what I just mentioned, to what we going into tonight, man. This nigga want to give you incentives. He want to have you think that you being maxed or jabbed that this is going to bring life or health or anything good to you. That's a goddamn lie, man. And he's selling a lie to you. You know? Yeah, come on.
Yeah, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 144 and 11. It said, rid me and deliver me from the hand of strange children.
Yeah. Woo. Read that again.
It said, rid me and deliver me from the hand of strange children.
Go ahead.
Whose mouth speak of vanity.
Yep, whose mouth speak of vanity. And really vanity goes into lies as well because it holds no weight. It's empty. It's nothing solid about it. It's no different. It's equivalent to a motherfucker telling you ask them to a certain destination, a restaurant or whatever, and instead of them telling you where it might be going right, they said, no, it's going left. That's empty. Once you get there, it's vain. It never was there. Your desire wasn't met. Yeah. See? Go ahead.
It says, whose mouth speak of vanity, and their right hand is a right hand of falsehood.
Yeah, even in their best, at their best, their right hand is their strong hand. Even in their strength is falsehood. So this nigga, even at his strength, at his capacity, is falsehood. You know? Yep, that was it on that?
Yeah.
All right, come on.
Okay, this is the book of Psalms 52 and verse 2. It says, the tongue devises mischief like a sharp razor.
Yep, read it again.
Okay, it says, the tongue devises mischief like a sharp razor.
Yep.
Working deceitfully.
Yep, working. Oh, he just read in 2 Thessalonians, who's working is after who's coming is after the working of Satan, man. With that word say, and devil is all entertainment. It goes into that left-hand side, which basically is deception, meaning you can't put your trust in it. You know, it's a shadow, man. Go ahead.
It says, thou lovest evil more than good.
Yeah, you love evil more than good. And you can't say, you fucking devils, you can't refute that, man. That's why, you know what made me pissed just then? Lazarus and the rich man. You know what I mean? That's the mentality of Esau, man. You can't tell us nothing different because your act shows what you're about, man. You love wickedness, man. Like, if you say anything wrong about a homosexual man or the LGBTQ XYZ, this devil's gonna get on your ass, man. Now, don't have a platform. Don't be a damn radio talk show host or anything like that. Your livelihood could be compromised, man. Because they don't only celebrate homosexuals, they go as far as protecting them. So that proves that you love evil more than good. Let's talk about the dietary laws. Because Esau, you got scholars and historians. You know about the scriptures, man. You know in Leviticus the 11th chapter it tells you not to eat pork, man, or crabs or lobster. Yet you make that a delicacy. You pitch it and package it to the people like that's a delicacy. Like red lobster, they say that, you know, or eating crabs and strip scampi and shit like that. That you're on a level now. You know? You fucking devil. You love evil more than good, man. And your works show that. Go ahead,
Gun. It says, thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather than to speak righteousness.
Yeah, you love lying more than to speak righteousness, man. Case in point, why didn't you tell us who we was? Fucking devil, and you got the record books, man. Why didn't you tell who you are? Instead, you package because this psychological warfare is heavy. That's why you got to thank your how about your mouth shot. And I'm gonna say this: if you come into this truth and you really ain't ready, you can bug out. You can bug out just by being in the truth, man. So everything is a psychological warfare, man. See, the elect is built different. Or the believers, we on a different level. I'm just saying that humble as I can. Your mentality is wired. You just wired. You design differently, man. You know? But why didn't this devil tell you who he was? Know what he did? He put out TV shows, remember the images, he brought the images to you. And he showed you the 10 Commandments with Charlton Heston back in the day, and the Egyptians was white. That was a subtle play on your psyche, man. Or whatever nation out there, you see these different movies, they're Edomites. So that's a form of him hiding behind these different uniforms or calling himself Russians or Swedish, Americans, Australians, instead of saying you a damn Edomite. Why didn't you tell us that? Because you love lying, man. You didn't tell Moab, you didn't tell them damn gooks that they was Moabites either. or you didn't tell Ham, them Africans that they was Hamites. Go ahead, lad.
It says, "Thou lovest all devouring words, O thou deceitful tongue."
Yep. Yeah, the so-called white man is deceitful across the damn board, man. And that's where a hunter comes in. See, the works of a hunter is deceit. He have to be deceitful. You can't be a straight up hunter. You can't be fair. If you're a hunter, can you be fair? You can't be fair. You gotta set snares. You gotta hide. You gotta knock motherfuckers off when they ain't looking, man. And that's the qualities and the attributes of Esau. You know? And that's what we're gonna get into, Lord willing, in this lesson. What you got? You got something?
Yeah, Con. This is Job 15:35.
Mm-hmm.
They conceive mischief.
Yep.
And bring forth vanity.
Yep.
Their belly prepareth deceit.
Their belly, meaning their mind, which translates to these think tanks, these different means. Hey, you know, these jakes on a very low level out here, man. You know, they preoccupied with some crazy shit. Meanwhile, Esau ain't sleeping, man. This nigga up in these think tanks and these meetings, man, coming up, concocting strategies and plans to overthrow the children of Israel. Why? Because they understand what's at stake. They understand the birthright, man. They understand the blessing. You know, they understand the chance to rulership. See? Read that again.
Con. Job 15:35. They conceive mischief and bring forth vanity, and their belly prepareth deceit.
So in their mind, on these think tanks, in these secret meetings, they prepare what?
Deceit.
Deceit, man. That's why you had a media swarm right now with the whole crown situation. That they plotted that. That was no shit they just came up with. That's what they came out the oven with. See, we over here, you know, in the truth, right? We was waiting on it. We was waiting to see what they was gonna come up with. What was gonna be, you know, the deciding factor, if you will, that they was gonna pretty much wage war against Israel. What they was gonna use. You gotta remember, when you go back to 64 AD with Nero, it was that fire that they used. So we looking now, okay, what this nigga gonna use? And then what this nigga came out the oven with, man, the crown. And it started over there with them goops. Yeah. Now all of a sudden, it's Jake. That's the face of it, man. See? So that's a form of, in their belly, they bringing forth deceit. All right? So, you got something?
Yeah, come.
All right.
This is the book of Psalms 59, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
It says, "Deliver me from the workers of iniquity, and save me from bloody men."
Yeah, from bloody men. That's Esau. Hey, and this man is bloody on all levels. And that's, matter of fact, go ahead and hold Genesis 25th chapter. We'll segue into what we got. Because, all right, for an example, this nigga is bloody just with the naked eye. When you look at him at face value, he's bloody because he's not white. My t-shirt white. The so-called white man is red. That's why we call him the so-called white man. His skin is translucent. His blood so forth. That in itself show you how cold Yahweh Shemel Shai is. The Lord showing you hell, warning. Oh, which matter of fact, look up that word red, the color red, and what it signifies. Hey, the Lord perfect, man. It's just up to you. If your eyes ain't on, that's on you, man. But if you spiritual, if you viewing things through spiritual lenses, the Lord is communicating all day. And he's showing you who your enemies are on all levels. In the spirit, we identifying this nigga, and even physically. When you see him, you say, oh, that's the devil. Because that color red symbolizes warning. Case in point, if you driving, green say go forth. Which, by the way, green symbolizes truth. That's why the best food for you is greenery. You know? But green is a go. You safe to go. But when you see red, it means you see the yield first, then you see the red. That means to proceed with caution. Well, that's what the Lord did with the so-called white man. For those of you whose eyes are open, when you see this devil, you say, oh, that's the devil. Watch that nigga, man. Then how they always come up with a fucking smile, man. That little smirk. We see it at camp. They walk by, they give you that fucking smirk. But if you keep your eye on them, their countenance drop. And they talk shit about you. Like, you keep your eye on them because Jake's simple. Jake could buy the smile and turn the other way. But if you keep watching them, you'll see their countenance drop, and you'll see that disdain they got for you, man. All right, so come on, let's get this.
The word red is violence anger, and aggression.
So now you think the scripture's off? Which we're going to get into this red man. And you know this devil, he tried to put that on the natives. Yeah. That fucking devil, man. Not only is he a criminal, he got no integrity. He got caught and he snitched on everybody. Or you know what? Nobody even was with him. Yeah. He just made up. He just lied. I can see if you snitched on the motherfucker that was really there. Yeah. It was nobody, they wouldn't even know about that. You just lied. No, it was him. It was him. Fuck him, man. That's why he put that red man on the natives. Yeah, that's why you have like the Redskins. See? Fucking devil, man. Go ahead,
God, this book of Genesis.
When the natives are our color. When you really going to it. You got something that's lighter, but really the natives are our color, man. Go ahead.
Con, yo, this is Genesis 25 and 25. And the first came out red all over like in hairy garment.
Why the scripture say that? Because that's a buzzword for you to know who this guy is. And it goes to his qualities. Okay? Hey, you see a lion, first you see a lion because of his features. You say, oh shit. Yeah. Everything registers in your brain like a computer. You see that lion, it computes. You see the mane. This is a fucking lion. And you know by seeing him what he's capable of doing. Go to Revelation in the 6th chapter, man. You see how everything play out? Hey, I see a chihuahua, it's gonna compute that, okay. But if I see a pit, I'm like, okay now. Yeah. Somebody better get, we're gonna have to probably, something gonna happen here. I'm gonna kill it, Yeah. Why? But it starts off with the image. That's why the Lord is giving you the physical countenance of this devil, man. Go ahead,
Revelation 6 and 4. And there went out another horse that was red.
See? And there went out another horse or power, because this word, remember, that word horse translates to power, when it's in the symbolic text. Okay? Go ahead.
And there went out another horse that was red.
Go ahead.
And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth.
See? Go ahead.
And that they should kill one another.
Come on, man. Ever since this man came in power, they killed one another. Which played out in the form of their wars, World War I, World War II, all right, the three Revolutionary Wars. They had the American-Spanish War, the American-British War, the American-French War. That's all in the scriptures, man. You had the Civil War, which went down as the bloodiest war on American turf. And these devils like to throw a black-on-black crime. Well, what about World War I and World War II? That was white-on-white crime on a global scale, man. So you the bloody man. You was given power to take peace from the earth. Go ahead,
It said, and that they should kill one another.
Go ahead.
And there was given unto him a great sword.
Read that again.
It said, and there was given unto him a great sword.
And that sword was given to him when? Let's get the scripture. What you got?
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 27, and in verse 40, it says, and by thy sword shalt thou live.
And by thy sword thou shalt live. And it's talking about who? Esau. So meaning this man will come into power by way of violence. Just to make it plain for you. All right, so now let's go back.
Genesis 25 and verse 25. It said, and the first came out red all over.
Right. So now we got to deal with that. That wasn't just written, you know what I mean? Yeah. Just to fill up the book. No, that was written for a reason. The first came out red all over. So now when you see the so-called white man, which is red, we can identify and target him. We can filter him with this scripture right here, man. And who else we gonna say? You want to just say, nah, don't worry about it. Let's find out who else this could be. No, the only one who fit the bill is the so-called white man. Go ahead.
It said, and the first came out red all over like in hairy garment.
And then it say like a hairy garment. It didn't necessarily say that he was hairy. Now he could have been, and you got Edomites that's hairy. You got Arabs, that's why you got a lot of niggas who say that Arabs, because they don't understand the scripture. It say like a hairy garment. When you go into the ancient world, especially at that time, that was like one of the best textures with their wear. Like you might have somebody who might wear a chinchilla. It might be back then. A red garment was like it was a pricey. Yeah. But it said red. It was how can I put it? It was a cunning. It was something cunning. That's why the scriptures, made a reference of it. It says like a hairy garment. red all over like a hairy garment. See, go ahead.
And they called his name Esau.
Yep, and they called his name Esau. Go ahead.
And out of that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them, and the boys grew.
Go ahead.
And Esau was a cunning hunter.
Now we're going into the attributes, the characteristics, if you will. Esau was a cunning hunter. Let's go into this word cunning. Read that again up.
It said, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter. Now, real talk. You know, if you got another device, you know, I ain't telling you to do it even on your own time. If you type in hunter, who gonna come up? Esau, man. Esau gonna come up. You're gonna see a lot of Edomites, and they're gonna be posing by a giraffe or by real talk. I did it. I actually did a video on it. You type up hunter, Esau come up. Now you might see certain Hamites, about 3% are Hamites. But you know why? Because they have Hamites as their tour guide. They go out there, these fucking devils, man. Like these motherfuckers who, the CEO of Apple or AT&T, them motherfuckers get off on hunting. You know, like Jake, Summer, they'll go to spring break. You know, Myrtle Beach, Daytona Beach and kick it. Esau, they go hunting, man. And they said they go to Africa, and then, you know, they'll kill rhinos, and they got the women, all that. You got Edomite children, men and women and children, posing by rhinos with their damn horns, or posing by a deer. Lions, giraffes, and all that, man. See that? So he's the cunning hunter, and that's on the physical level. So you can't say that Yahweh Shema shot and show you, man. Right? Go ahead,
Yeah, this word cunning.
Oh, let me say something too real quick. Motherfucker might say, well, hold up, man, there's primitive people out there in rural areas, they hunt for survival, man. They hunt for clothing and food and probably weaponry they might use, you know, some for a spear, bones. No, this devil hunt for sport, man. He hunts is a fix. He got to get that. It's a rush because it's in his DNA. It goes back to Cain. Go ahead,
Yeah, cunning is the word cunning. It says to perceive and see. It says found out and discern.
So he's cunning in hunting. He can discern. He's very informative in hunting. Case in point, when you go into Duck Dynasty, you remember them guys? They got famous for creating the duck call. Well, and that's deceptive too. In the mating season, they'll give out a call. You know, it'll be like a female in heat, and they'll draw the male ducks just to kill them. They even got mechanical deers, bucks and bulls, and even the female deers to lure in other deers to kill them, man. That's part of being a cunning hunter. Go ahead,
It says to know how, be skillful in. It says jump it down.
Oh, like the brother Nathaniel Alsop said, they take a month off during hunt season. That's true. I done worked around these devils, man. Motherfuckers, I remember I worked with some devils, a lot of devils on the job, and motherfucker brought a lot of, he knocked the deer down. He brought some deer meat up there, and he grilled for everybody. He had to grill and all that. For the company. But that's what they do. They'll take their vacation time ain't the bullshit. They go out there and hunt, man. See, go ahead.
It says to make oneself known, reveal oneself.
Yep. So yeah, we're in a time when the devil is being revealed as the cunning hunter. Okay. Now that cunningness is not just on display physically. In the spirit, intellectually, again, the psychological warfare. Everything this man do is to snare you, to entrap you. Real quick, you got something else over here? Give me Isaiah 51. And then I want you to look up that word, you know what I want. Pit. Go ahead.
Okay, this word cunning in the Western Dictionary, the second definition, it says characterized by wildness and trickery.
Ooh. Yep. Characterized by trickery, man. And again, that's the way a hunter plays. A hunter can't play fair. He won't be able to get his kills. So he got to set snares. He got to set traps.
He got to sit up in a tree with a camouflage damn suit on in a tree stand, blending in with the backdrop of the woods. Oh, even these devils, you know, when they was over there in the Middle East, in that campaign for all the resources, they had, you usually had the traditional hunter green fatigue. Them uniforms is the beige for Desert Storm and camouflage, camo. And they actually can blend in the desert. You want to see that? Who the fucking hunter you think he is, man? It's Esau. See? You got something else? All right, come on.
This Isaiah 51:14. The captive exile hastened that he may be loose, that he should not die in the pit.
Yeah, and this is the pit, right? Go ahead.
It said, nor that his bread should fail.
So let's look up this word pit, which America is a pit. All right? This place America is full of pitfalls and snares and traps, man. Okay, the reason why hey man, the penitentiary is packed with so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. That would they don't understand. You got a bunch of Latinos, so-called Latinos, and Native Americans up in there, man. Why? They was snared. They was caught up in the system. Which, when you go into that word system, it goes back to the pit, man. They got 3 strike laws that go back to this nigga, what this guy, the President Clinton. He pushed those 3 strike laws. That did a number on Israel, man. You got Jake that got caught. It was a story I was reading maybe a month ago. A guy in Louisiana, they just let him loose, let him out the pen. He was in the pen like 12 years for stealing a damn sneaker bar, man. And they played him because of the priors. They set up them laws like the priors. That's the 3 strike law. Like you can have some heavy offenses, but then your 3rd strike, you stole a damn candy bar, and that's fucking Esau, man, snaring you, man. You know? The penitentiary packed from those stories. All right, this man, everything's set up to snare you and to keep you in derision, man. Go ahead,
Fine. So this that word pit, and it reads pit, destruction, grave. Pit for catching lions.
For what?
Catching lions.
This place, America, is a pit for catching lions, man. Which in the spirit, we know the lion is the mascot for Israel, man. Okay? So this place was set up, it was designed to catch you. It was designed to snare you, man. And that's the ways of Esau. That's the way of a hunter, man. Give me real quick, Proverbs 1. You know what I want? I think is it 17?
Yeah.
And it's another one I want.
What's that?
The snare. It's the bird as a bird escape. Give me that one too. As a bird escape from the snare.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yep. What you got?
Proverbs. This is the book of Proverbs 1:17.
Con.
Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird.
Yep. Read that again.
It says, surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird.
Yeah, surely in vain the net. See, the net, which a net is a tool, is an instrument for snaring you. That's the instrument of a hunter. But the scripture says, what? Read it again.
It says, surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird.
It's spread in vain. Read it again.
It says, surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird.
So this net is spread in vain, but in the sight of any bird. We will be those birds in the spirit. And we have eyesight. The key word there is sight. So this man trying to set a trap for us is in vain because we can see him doing it. All right? But nevertheless, he's doing it, man. All right, go ahead.
This Psalm 124:7. It says, our soul is escaped as a bird out of the snare of the fowlers.
See, who is the fowler? Esau. Read it one more time.
It said, our soul is escaped as a bird out of the snare of the fowlers.
And the snare is America. And the reason why I say as a bird, because when we are delivered, we're going to be delivered aerially. A bird don't run away from the snare. He take flight. So the snare is actually America in this case. We're going to be escaped out of this place, which it all goes into the legislation, the laws, and everything that this man tried to present to you, man. It's all a snare. And we're gonna escape it all. We're gonna escape, this man trying to set forth the snare in the form of you getting jabbed, getting maxing. The elect gonna escape that snare, man. All right, we have escaped his rhetoric. What's written in his history books. We escaped that. We are no longer trapped by that. We were set free by the truth. And that's in St. John, the 8th chapter. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Make you free from who? The fowler, the hunter. The one that was set up to snare you. See, you got more on this?
Yeah, kind of said the snare is broken and we are escaped.
Woo! So you can give me he got that. All right, what you got?
This Proverbs 1.
You already got that Proverbs 1, then. Okay, Con. You ain't gotta worry about
Okay,
This Proverbs 1:10. It says, "My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not." And I got the word entice. It says it goes back into to be deceived, to be deceived. It says seduced.
Yep, and it goes into a snare, man. Again, when you consider a mouse trap, it ain't so much of the trap, it's what's on the trap, the cheese. So, but the trap is set up the cheese is set up to entice you to the trap. So in this case, literally cheese. This devil trying to give you cheese. He's trying to give you money. Well, we showed you in the opening clip, if you missed the opening clip, where these devils are seriously entertaining and they making proposals to pay you to take to get maxine, man. You can't make this stuff up. This is the devil, man. And it proved that we right, man, through the spirit. It proved that this man is on the clock. Everything he's doing is a part of a bigger picture. This is an agenda he's trying to fulfill. Because why would a nigga pay you anything? Who will pay you, man? Nobody gonna pay you unless it's something for them. I ain't gonna pay you for just because, just to pay you. I'm gonna pay you because I want you to cut my grass or something, man. I want something out of you. So now this man looking to pay you, as if he give a fuck about you living or not. He stuck you on a reservation in a ghetto. He gave you Funyuns and Doritos. And motherfucker got drinks. Motherfucker got blue, you know what I mean? And when you open the top, it's a small explosion. But this nigga all of a sudden want you to live, man. He put drugs in your neighborhoods, Newports, He put diseases in your neighborhood. AIDS didn't just, you gotta think about it, man. AIDS didn't just pop up, man. HIV, syphilis. What about the Tuskegee experiment, man? See that? Come on, up.
This Psalm 38:12. It said, "They also that seek after my life and lay snares for me."
Read that again. Look up that word right here. Where you at?
Psalm 38:12.
All right, let's see what it gives you. Go ahead, up.
Psalm 38:12. It said, "They also that seek after my life."
And that's dealing with Esau, man. The so-called white man. Real quick, give me Genesis 27. Let's prove that these are two parts. You can't lose sight of what this thing is all about. There's two main characters to this drama. All right, the other nations ain't nothing but extras in the movie. The two main characters are always gonna be the same: Jacob and Esau. Right? Go ahead, up.
Genesis 20.
Was that the spirit, King David? In the spirit, that was Jacob, man. That's why he's talking about it now, man. Go ahead, up.
Genesis 27:41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, "The days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob."
That's the driving force behind Esau. His very existence, his very being is to slay you. You actually got cops that get on the force just to live out their fantasy of killing a Jake, man. Oh, you actually got, and I saw this, you got nurses and doctors that in the KKK and shit. And they actually get off on, fucking over babies and, yeah, man, this shit's serious, man. Go ahead, that's why in the spirit, man, we understand. See, that's why when Yahweh says I'm gonna give you a rod of iron, we get it now. If you ain't get this truth, if you don't know what this truth about, you ain't gonna accept that blessing from Yahweh side. That you don't want, you're like, a rod of iron. You're like, what I want with a rod of iron? No, we know we want that rod of iron now. We get it now. Give us that rod of iron so we can beat the shit out of Esau, man.
Yep.
Y'all was saying, no, like that Twilight Zone. I know what you need. You know what I mean?
Yep, that's it.
You can't fake that you want that rod of iron. We want it, we desire to get our hand. It just symbolizes rulership, that's all. It symbolizes the rigorous rulership of the kingdom of heaven, man. Go ahead, Up.
Con, you can go back to Psalm 38.
Yeah. You got the definition, right?
Yeah,
Read it again.
Psalm 38 and 12. It said, they also that seek after my life.
See, so we just read in Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's the same story, man. Go ahead.
They also that seek after my life lay snares for me.
Come on, man. That's the cunning hunter, man. That's why the scripture spoke about Esau being a hunter. Everything out here is a snare for you. It's a snare for Jacob, and more so now. And more so now, because this is the time when the desperation of Esau is kicked in. You know, this man understands what's at stake. See, he know about the rod of iron. He know what it lies in his future. That we're gonna beat the shit out of him. You can't downplay or dismiss or underestimate the dreams that they having, you know, the visions they having as well. They have a dream about us, and all of a sudden they get the alert because they are subscribers. Have a dream about us, and then we do a video. You know, like the video I did, and they suspended the channel, the natural order thing. Yeah. And I went into the scriptures on how you was meant to be a slave, and that all of a sudden the channel get hit, man. Let's go back.
God, it said they also that seek after my life lay snares for me, and they that seek my hurt speak mischievous things.
Woo! And this is mischievous. We about to go into the mischievous things that they speaking. With this nigga Joe Biden, man. Which you know when you go into his name, man, it's spiritual too. That word Biden goes into constraint. And Joe goes back to Joseph, or Yawasop, which means to add. To add constraint. And that's a cycle, man. Go ahead, Up.
It says, and they that seek my hurt speak mischievous things and imagine deceits all the day long.
Ooh, hey, all day. Hey, because you know why? They understand what's at stake. See, that's what it is. Just because Jake Sealing is damn hooking up their whip and doing some crazy shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. That don't mean that Esau don't know what's at stake.
Yeah.
But see, now the Lord has allowed us to see what's at stake. And that's why we on this pursuit to the kingdom, man. You know? And it was the worst thing that happened to Esau. All right, this man knows. Just like when you go into, what's that? The Willie Lynch? They said, you had experts that said it would take a miracle for us to come out of whoever they applied their formula to. It would have took a miracle for the subjects to come out of it. But guess what? It was divine intervention that brought us out. And Esau, the day that the first men came out speaking his Bible, and it didn't have to be the 100%. They had to go all into the Lord about timing. We was given the breakdowns of the chip, but let's just say we go back to Abba Bivens and men around there. With the moment when they said we was the Israelites, fear overtook them devils, man. That marked the start of your ending, man. And they knew that. Yep. Come on. That was it?
Yeah, that was it.
All right, so let's get that word. Let's see what they give you right there.
It's that word snare. It says to be ensnared. It says to entrap.
Read that again.
It says to be ensnared. It says to entrap. It says with a noose. It says catch, lay, a snare.
Yeah, with a noose. It said a noose. Oh man. Everything all of a sudden, you know, it's images put up where they got the noose on you. But it just proves that this is the devil, man, the so-called white man. But he was set up to snare you, right? And he snare you because he seek after your life. And that's the same with a hunter. A hunter don't set a trap because he save you. He set the trap because he's seeking after your life, man. So now let's go into let's go on what we got. Let's share another precept.
Oh, no. Yeah,
all right, let's go on to it. Then we're going to go back to Genesis 25th chapter after that. Lord will.
All right. What you want to start with there?
Oh, yeah, whatever.
Okay, well, Since you said that Biden.
Okay, yep, Con. Beautiful.
So this is from AP News, Associated Press, and it reads, Biden, quote, will manage the hell out of Fed's Crown Vic response.
Mm-hmm.
And it says President-elect Joe Biden pledged Friday to boost supplies.
He pledged Friday. Look at that word pledge. This nigga got a spirit on him. He got a spirit, a resilient spirit on him. And it's all, see, everybody is at work. The Lord got everybody working to fulfill prophecy. You know? So the Lord put a resilient spirit on these devils to go hard about it right now, man. It's going to get to a point where they ain't going to keep playing it off for you niggas, man. It's just going to come out. They're going to say, look, we want, it's mandate. All right, come on.
Yeah, this the word pledge, the first definition, we jump down to the fourth one. It says a gauge of battle. Jump down. It says to make a pledge. It says to bind by a pledge. It says to promise by the performance of by a pledge.
Yeah, to the promise. So you make a pledge. It's like like you swear. You know, he's making a promise now. So this is a pledge from this nigga Joe Biden. Let's get into it.
It said Joe Biden pledged Friday to boost supplies of the Crown Vic vaccine and set up new vaccination spots to meet his goal.
Oh, I saw some in Disney World. They're going to make Disney World a major Crown 19s. But hey, man. So how crazy it is. Hey, that's the Lord, though. The Lord going to make this thing eerie. You know? The spirit of fear is about to overwhelm you people, man. Go ahead, Doc.
It says to meet his goal of 100 million shots in 100 days.
Oh, look at that, man. Look at that. Why is that? Why is that persistence there? Why is this feeling of you looking over your shoulder? Why is this feeling of you being on the clock? Well, let's read the scripture. Give me Revelation 12 chapter and 12 verse.
This is the book of Revelation 12 and verse 12. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them.
Go ahead.
Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath.
Yep, the devil is coming down having great wrath. Go ahead.
Because he knoweth that he have but a short time.
That's cold. This man knoweth that he have but a short time. And that's why you have Operation Warp Speed. Again, you can't make this up, man. Yahweh Shai is alive and well. And he's making good on his word. And the Lord said, have he not spoken of it? Yeah. What the Lord said?
Not making good.
Come on, man. Lord is making it good, man. This nigga knoweth, and the scripture heavy to say he knoweth that he have but a short time. And we contributing to that. Because these devils got some part of the information, but we bring it home we bring it home the exclamation point. We fill in the gaps for them. We fill in the sentences. So they watch the videos and we tell them, yeah, Yahweh Shai gonna destroy you. We get this precept, and they say, oh shit, get them vaccines out. Because you people that who take us, you don't take us serious. Guess who take us serious? The very ones who seize control of the entire planet Earth. The elite bankers, the very ones that got the record books. They got sensitive information. They got all the resources on the planet Earth. They cornered the market on the planet Earth, thus fulfilling the prophecy spoken in Job, the 9th chapter, in the 24th verse. Guess what? They take us serious, man. They know we the prophets, man. If you really want to get technical. Go ahead, hold up, what you got? Give me what you got.
This was Solomon 2 and 17.
There it is.
Let us see if his words be true.
Why would the so-called white man say that? Read it again.
Let us see if his words be true.
You know why he said that? Because he's watching us. And it tell you that in Psalms the 23rd chapter. Thou prepares a table before me, before mine enemies. This nigga watching, man. He might be one of the viewers. Go ahead,
It says, let us see.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let us see if his words be true.
Motherfucker, Bill, man. You know what I mean? Fuck, go ahead. Was that nigga just bought all this land, man? Fuck you doing? So you want to shut down these farms? That nigga desperate, man. Was they said Bill Gates came out with some information saying we need to get everybody identified. I forgot one of the brothers was going into that. We need to find out. See, this nigga got a God complex, man. The so-called white man. Yeah. Who are you to know, you know? Yeah. You want to know who everybody is on the planet Earth. Well, guess what? That goes into everything we've been saying, and it directly complements the idea of the chip being a mark of the beast. See, go ahead,
It said, let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him.
See, so that's the so-called white man's approach. He said, let us see if their words be true. Yeah. Why he said that? Why did he come to that? Because he's watching us, man. See? And this is why he knows that he have but a short time. All right, give me what you got.
It's Job 15:21. A dreadful sound is in his ears.
Yep, a dreadful sound is in his ears. That alert. That nigga got a special alert for our videos. It might be spiritual too. It got a damn ram's horn. Yeah. You see the title, Esau's Destiny. That's that dreadful sound, man. Go ahead,
It says a dreadful sound is in
like
ears.
the one that the video, hey, you can't make it up. You know, we've been on this run doing all these videos. Not to say our channels ain't been suspended before. We don't marvel at that. But we've been going hard about it, man. You know, we've been going in on sensitive topics. Yeah, I did the video dealing with Esau, and then the thumbnail, if you saw it, yeah, Esau and the slave ships and shit with the chains. That did it, man. That was the straw that broke the camel back. This nigga, but that was a dreadful sound in his ear, man. Go ahead,
It says a dreadful sound is in his ears.
And they're gonna eventually, real quick, give me Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter, Ezekiel 3. I want to say it's around the 24th chapter. Because the Lord going to use Esau to contribute to the famine of the word. They're going to get to a point where the Lord going to allow them to just to put constraints on this. I think it's Ezekiel 3:24, is it? Where it says they should put bans on it.
Yeah, Yep, this is Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 20. I started 24. It said, then the Spirit entered into me and set me upon my feet, and spake with me and said unto me, go shut thyself within thine house. But thou, O son of man, behold, they shall put bands upon thee.
See, they shall put bands. This word gonna be banned. Yep. It say they shall put bands on us. And that goes into these YouTube guidelines, man. See, go ahead.
It said, behold, son of man, they shall put bands upon thee, and shall bind thee with them.
Yep.
And thou shalt not go out among them.
Yeah, we're not going to go out on the highways and byways. That's when the Lord's going to eventually lock it down. But you see, if you're paying attention, the Lord said they going to. Yeah. So you see it all building up. And again, you can't tell us, we got the email, man. Motherfuckers think that we just talking shit. No, we know that this is a war. Because we on the front lines. All these brothers out there, I'm pretty sure you got brothers on the coming board, they page get struck. Well, you ain't gotta convince them. They know firsthand that their words is affecting Esau. Because if it wasn't so, then they wouldn't get that email. Go ahead,
It says, and I will make thy tongue cleave to the roof of thy mouth.
Yeah, meaning we're not gonna speak. Go ahead.
That thou shalt be dumb and shalt not be able to be to them a reprover.
Yep, go ahead.
But they are rebellious house.
So it's gonna be a point we're not gonna be a reprove unto you. Why? Because the Lord's going to allow them to put bands on us. All right? So, yep, you go back here.
Job 15, verse 21. A dreadful sound is in his ears.
Yep, so we that dreadful sound, even down to the alert. Okay? That's that dreadful sound. Nigga got headphones, you know. Nigga might be jogging, doing whatever, and he get that. He look down. Shit, man. Go ahead,
It says
what we going to do about this? Oh, man. Go ahead,
It says, in prosperity, the destroyer shall come upon him.
Yep, so now let's go back.
Back in the article, it says, to me his goal of 100 million shots.
Yep, so this is Biden's goal. Pay attention.
Of 100 million shots in 100 days.
Come on, man. This nigga is relentless. But it goes back into them having but a little time. That's desperation right there, man. The only doctrine that makes sense is our doctrine. Because this doctrine consists of this man losing his power and eventually him squirming. Well, it tells you that in Jeremiah the 5th chapter. how the waves gonna roar and toss themselves. That's Esau. This man is tossing himself. He'll become restless because he knows what's at stake here. And this is a desperate plea to try to maintain his rulership. See, go ahead.
It says it's part of a broader Crown Vic strategy that also seeks to straighten out snags in testing and ensure minority.
And what?
Ensure minority.
And ensure minorities. You hear the Cunning Hunter? And ensure minorities. Go ahead. Oh look, the nigga that ensure minorities a better house, affordable. Get the fuck out of here, man. Suitable water to drink, man. You go to Detroit, the water, you run water, shit like lemonade. Okay? The nigga that ensure the man being in the house, he totally took that element out of the picture, man. This nigga didn't ensure you not promise you that you wouldn't be shot if you got pulled over by a cop. He didn't ensure that drugs would be accessible in your neighborhood. But this nigga gonna ensure that you get hit up and jabbed, man, with some shit that got all type of shit in it, man. Come on,
It's Psalms 10:8. He sealeth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places does he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor.
Read that again.
It says he sealeth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places does he murder the innocent.
Yep.
His eyes are privily set against the poor.
Yeah, that's who we have in his crosshairs. That's who that man has on his radar, the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American, man. And we read that the scripture just outlined it. And it's pretty much narrating what we're reading right here, man. This is why we have made this word our refuge, man. Because this is the comfort of the scriptures we're dealing with, man. See, the Lord have allowed us access to his plans, man. And we know what? We feel somehow, you know, we expect to be saved. We expect to be delivered, man. We expect for Yahweh Shah to preserve us from the said perils, man. Because the Lord would have never gave us this information if that wasn't the case, man. And that goes out to all of you out there, man. It's about to get bad out here, man. Keep in mind, a blackout could come at any time. They're not going to tell you when a blackout coming, man. They're going to tell you a blackout will be in a minute. It ain't as bigger than saving water or some shit. Your mind got to be right. Yo, you got to prepare. The scriptures say, gird up the loins of your mind, man. Come on, that was it what you got over there?
Yeah, come.
You got something else?
Come. This is the book of Psalms 140 and verse 1. Deliver me, O Lord, from the evil man.
Yeah, that's the cry, man. That's the rallying cry here. Deliver us from the evil man. See, a wise man knows his limitations, man. We know we ain't got no power to deal with this devil, man. We want Yahweh Shema. We need Yahweh Shema to deliver us, man. We need Yahweh Shah to deliver us, man. Go ahead.
It says, preserve me from the violent man.
Preserve us from the violent man. And it's going to be by way of this information. Give me Proverbs 2 and 10. You got some more?
Yeah, it says, which imagine mischiefs in their hearts.
Yeah, and their secret counsels again. They're imagining mischief. This is mischievous, man. They're trying to get you hit up, man. Go ahead, Doc.
It says, continually are they gathered together for war.
Yeah, continually are they gathered together for war. That's why the Spirit got on me to say this is how they waging war against Israel. All right? Because that's who they looking to come up against, man. Israel. Because that's the story. Jacob and Esau. This is a continuation of that struggle in the womb, man. All right, that was it on that?
That was it.
All right, come on.
This book of Proverbs 2 and 10. When wisdom entereth into thy heart,
When you get this information, go ahead.
and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul, discretion shall preserve thee.
See, this discretion gonna preserve you. See, go ahead.
Understanding shall keep thee.
Understanding shall keep thee. Go ahead.
To deliver thee.
To what?
To deliver thee.
Go ahead.
From the way of the evil man.
From what?
The way of the evil man.
That didn't say some guy in the underworld with a spandex suit, man. It said this information is going to keep you and deliver you from the way of the evil man. Biden. All right, the so-called white man. So you can understand. Go ahead.
From the man that speaketh forward things.
Yeah, and let's go to some of these forward things he's speaking, man.
Okay. So it's going back to the article. It said it's part of a broader Crown Vic strategy that also seeks to straighten out snags in testing and ensure minority communities are not left out.
Fuck them, man.
It says, let's see. Some wonder if we are reaching too far. Biden said, "Let me be clear. I'm convinced we can get it done."
Yeah. Yep. Because he's resilient. He's adamant about it because there's a bigger picture here. This goes back into that struggle in the womb. This is a fight for the birthright. You know.
That's not.
You can't. Oh no. Whoever get that. You got it? All right, give me what you got.
Okay. This is the book of Psalm 64 and verse 4. It says that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him, and fear not.
Yep.
It says they encourage themselves in the evil manner.
Yep.
They commune of lying snares privily.
They commune of lying snares privily. Privately. See, go ahead.
It says they say, who shall see them?
Yeah, but we see your ass, man. Know what they saying on me? Ain't nobody gonna, nobody see us. No, we see you. Why? Because we was given eyes to see. And this is that light, this word. Okay? So if it ain't no more in there, that's pretty much that what I really wanted right there. It pointed out to my let's run through these right here. We get ready to close up.
All right, Kai. So this is from Forbes.com. And it reads, get a free bag of weed with your Crown Vic.
And with that, this is what we dealing with, man. Read this again.
Get a free bag.
Yeah, you heard this right. You heard this right. It's going out for niggas like, the next Snoop, the generation of niggas that follow out the, fuck them, man. Read this up.
He's the nigga that got caught smoking a blunt.
Oh yeah, the folky nigga, yeah. He gonna take it. Yeah, you see this,
It says
this is what we dealing with, man. Oh, but it goes into the desperation, man. And this is a valid information. This is from Forbes. Right? Read it again.
It said, get a free bag of marijuana with your Crown Vic vaccine. I just
Snoop Dogg being lying, man.
I just read the top. It said cannabis activists in Washington, D.C. are planning to offer a free bag of marijuana to those receiving the vaccine for Crown Vic. The group D.C. Marijuana Justice announced this week the free cannabis giveaway.
And believe you me, that's a break off. That's a branch from the higher ups. And but who was that playing on? That's playing on Jake.
Yep.
That's the Cunning Hunter we dealing with, man. Go ahead.
He said the free cannabis giveaway dubbed Joints for Jabs.
Words to be laughed at, man.
It says it's being arranged to coincide with the vaccine clinic expected to open in the nation's capital soon. DCMJ wrote in a press release on Monday. That was it.
Yeah, come on, let's go through whatever you got. Let's go through.
This from USA Today, and it reads Crown Vic vaccine incentive. Trader Joe's, Instacart, and Dollar General to pay workers to get vaccinated, get jabbed up.
Well, they actually got hospitals. Oh, do you got some on that?
No, I ain't got none.
Okay, they got some on hospitals where they actually because you got they were talking about it on here in the opening clip. Down in Alabama and other places, you got a resistance from these workers. They don't want to take the crown. But they saying, look, we'll pay you extra $500, but you don't get the money right away. You got to live to make it to get the $500. I'm telling you, man. That's the snare, man. That's Esau ass. That's the Cunning Hunter, man. And everything about this man proved that he's Esau. Even his zoos. Yeah. That got to be the work of Esau. Who would trap animals? What the fuck you just trap them for?
God. It said Trader Joe's is the latest business to offer an incentive for workers getting the Crown Vic vaccine.
It was more.
It says the Monrovia, California-based grocery chain said Thursday it will give employees 2 hours of pay per dose for getting the vaccine, and will also shift around schedules to make sure employees have time to get jabbed up. Let's see, jump down. Jump down to Dollar General. It reads Dollar General.
Oh, these are several stores.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you see this?
Yep.
You got several stores that actually entertain the idea of giving you incentives to take the jab. Why are they so concerned about that? Yeah. You love me so much, you know. Like, you know, the Edomite came into the camp and say he loved us. I asked him a trick question. If you love me, man, give me $100. Yeah. Go ahead.
I said Dollar General, which operates nearly 17,000 stores in 46 states, said Wednesday it would give employees the equivalent of 4 hours of pay if they get the jab.
You see that? They'll give you the equivalent of 4 hours of pay if you get jabbed up. Why? You know, that should be the question. If you're looking to pay me for something, that means you're looking to get some on the back end, man. Well, we know what it is, man. This is desperation. This is a desperate plea from Esau to somehow gain the birthright, the blessing. And again, the only thing makes sense is the doctrine of Yahweh Shah, which we have, man. The doctrine, the testimony of Yahweh Shah, which is what? The spirit of prophecy. See, your information you bringing forth, it doesn't apply no more. You know, just you have it on a kufi or, you know, in a staff or some shit, that don't resonate. It don't register with us no more. You got to have the doctrine of Yahweh Shah now. That's the only thing that makes sense now. The prophecies, man. That's the only thing that links up that you can lock in and it all plays out, man. That's like that code you put in and then you get, you know, it opens up. The avenues is opening up now. It's with prophet. When prophecy sink in, then everything opens up. Everything opens up for you, man. Okay, you got more?
Yeah, I just read this last little bit on this. It said incentives for employees offer an alternative way to encourage workers to get the jab, as opposed to mandating them get shots.
Yeah, so they just doing that, but eventually it's going to be a mandate on it. All right, and we know it's all going to lead up to the chip. See, we know the story. It's like you watch a movie. No matter how many times, you know, the boogeyman jump out, and you might jump, but you still know at the end what's going to happen, man. So that's the luxury we have been given him, man. And then thank you, how about Shema Shah for that? All right, so that's it. What you got over there? All right, what you got? So let's go back to Genesis, the 25th chapter, and we'll end off right there. We got that word for cunning. Let's go back right there.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 25. It's like Genesis 25 and verse 27. It said, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents.
Yep. So Esau was a cunning hunter, man. And that's playing out now. That attribute, that quality that devil was given, that's his instincts. This is the only thing he can reverse. So the information we brought out, besides, you know, for those of you out there, the serious minded amongst you out there that's watching, you know, news, current events, you can see that this nigga is trying to snare Jake, man. Why? Because he's actually that cunning hunter. And those qualities are standing for. You know, you are who you are. All right, like a porcupine. When he's in a corner, he's cornered off, those thistles gonna show. And eventually, if you thought it was a gerbil at first, you're gonna say, nope, that's a porcupine. Why? Because adversity, whatever comes in his way, gonna force him to be himself. Matter of fact, give me what you got real quick. Let's end off Surah 12.
Yeah, that's right.
Go ahead.
We're cunning.
And you know, we gotta hold it back, man, because you know, in the spirit, y'all know how it is, man. We get on Esau all night here, man. But the point pretty much made, you know. And what we brought out, this information we brought out is fresh off the press. You know, this is recent news, and it all just ties into the fact that the prophecies concerning Esau, you know, in his pursuit to try to somehow gain momentum of the birthright is now playing out right before your eyes. Come on, Watch.
It says to know how, be skillful.
The nigga know how to be a hunter. He know how to get you. He said to be skillful in. He's skilled in hunting you, man. He's skilled in entrapping Jake. Okay? But again, we read Proverbs, the first chapter, that this very same net that has caught, have been the ruin of many amongst Israel. Guess what? We see that the nigga setting the trap, man. It's nothing like eyes and ears. Those two instincts can get you a long way, man. Okay, come on.
This is the book Ecclesiastes, Sirach 12, And I started 16. It said, an enemy speaking sweetly with his lips.
Yeah, so this nigga biting, talking about some sure. The all minorities, this nigga speaking sweetly with his lips. You got some nigga rallying behind that. See, man, I'm glad Trump out, man. Biden said he gonna make sure. Oh, you know who's saying that? General Yohana.
Yeah.
Go ahead. An enemy speaking sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagined of how to throw thee into a pit.
Woo, the snare. See, go ahead.
He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity.
And this is the perfect opportunity. This is why we know that this is the opportunity for Esau to hold crown. All the chips is in. I don't think they got the luxury right now of scrapping this plan and going to something else. They're not going to have the trust of the people, period, at that point. I think this is the opportunity right here they're going to seize. See, go ahead,
It said, but if he find opportunity, he would not be satisfied with blood.
Yep, because he's a cunning hunter, right? Go ahead.
If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first.
Just so the so-called white man will be in your neighborhoods with his military and these Maxines soon. You're going to find him there first. When the power go out, when the things start to fall apart and unravel for you, Esau will be there with the sword. Go ahead.
It said, and though he pretend to help
he's going to pretend to help you. Go ahead.
Yet he shall undermine thee.
Go ahead.
He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much.
Yep, and again, that goes into what? His secret counsels. Go ahead.
And change his countenance.
And what?
Change his countenance.
So he's going to go from the so-called white man, the soft-spoken, suit and tie Edomite, to the devil. It is going to be, you know, the devil you've been pushing in church with the horns, he going to come to life. Read this again. You wanted the devil so bad, you're going to get him. Read that last part again.
It says he will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance.
So he's going to show you who he is, man. You're going to get the devil full-fledged. All right, this man is going to no longer play it off with you, and he's going to be forced to show himself. Why? Because the spirit of truth has now, begin to overwhelm the planet Earth. So even Esau is going to have to be faced with the truth. And then that truth is going to actually show who he is, man. And we, coming up on that time more and more each day, the sunrise and sunset, which marks us closer and closer to the return of our Lord, Yahweh Shai. So with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakafadash. Double honors to our teachers, the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, you brothers out there laboring in his work. And as always, you believe as those of you who subscribe to the teachings of our Lord Yahweh Shai. To the next time, Shalom.
Shalom. DTA, abide the ball.